The tax loophole for Canadian day traders. Hi, I'm James Baker, CPA, and I am a US tax consultant, and I work with clients all over the world. And I have this new, very interesting tax loophole that might apply to Canadians who are day trading in Canada and who don't want to pay taxes on their income. Let's get to it, and I'll explain exactly how it works and the different responses I've gotten from different Canadian CPAs that I've talked to about this. So if you're a Canadian day trader, that means that you are buying and selling stocks every day and trying to make money day trading, right? Obviously, right? That's what a day trader is. In Canada, you're going to pay tax on your profits. And depending on where you live, potentially a lot of taxes on your profits. The clients I've talked to are living in the big provinces. You're living in Ontario, Toronto, and you're paying up to 50% in taxes. Now, in a business where you are investing your money and growing based on how much money you have, not paying taxes is the smartest way to compound your investments. I'm going to go through all three options on here and different perspectives that I have from the options from the US side and from my understanding of the Canadian side. Again, this isn't legal advice. I can tell you with much more confidence how it's taxed in the US and my experience in Canada. While I have a lot of it, I'm not a Canadian tax expert. Hey, I hope you're liking the video. If you got value from this video, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And I see that 90% of the people watching the channel are not subscribed. Also, if you have specific questions, comment below and I'll make separate videos about it. I'm happy to do that. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you with the next one. So here's option one. Here's what most people are doing. They have a brokerage account in Canada. The Canadian brokerage accounts are more expensive. You're paying more fees and there's fewer options. You're paying tax on your full amount of income, and you're operating, but you're paying a lot of taxes and a lot of fees. That's how most people are doing it, to be honest, with a Canadian brokerage account. That's option one. It sucks, but it's option one, and that's what most people are doing. Option two is something I love, is to expatriate from Canada, go move to Panama, or go move to, I don't care, Monaco or Paraguay or anywhere. Go leave Canada, expatriate from Canada, open a US LLC, and trade on a US brokerage with a US company and pay lower fees to trade and pay no income taxes on your capital gains, only pay taxes on dividends. But it's really easy to avoid dividends. Day traders don't usually invest in dividend stocks. So that's option two, and it's a great option. That option is perfectly legal in Canada, and it's obviously very legal in the United States as well. The tax code around not paying taxes on capital gains, on foreigners, non-residents, not having to pay taxes on capital gains in Section 871, I believe, is very clear. And as long as you aren't a hedge fund manager and you're not managing funds for many, many clients, you don't have to pay taxes on your capital gains if you're a non-resident. It's a great code section. I assume it's to goose up the U.S. financial markets because we have more investors. That's option two. It's a really good option, but it requires a huge commitment. You have to leave your country and live on the road or live in another country and, do all this stuff. So that's a huge commitment. Number three is the loophole that I was talking about. Now, I talk to Canadian accountants all the time. I work with Canadians. I refer them to my Canadian tax advisors. I talk to their tax advisors. I'm on the phone with Canadians a lot. It's just a part of my business and a part of my client base. And the first concept I want to explain here is that US LLCs are treated as corporations in Canada. So if you're Canadian and you have an LLC, the results don't flow through to you. If I'm an American and I have an LLC, if I make $1 million in my LLC, I'm reporting it on my personal tax return. If a Canadian has an LLC and it's not subject to US taxes, they're not going to pay any taxes in the US, and they're only going to pay tax in Canada based on what they earn in Canada or what they bring back to Canada. That being said, if a Canadian person living in Canada opens an LLC in the US and trades in the stock market in the US, I've gotten different results from different Canadian advisors. Some say that there's a reason that you can't do it. You have to pay taxes in Canada. But other advisors have said, as long as you don't bring the money back to Canada, you don't have to pay taxes on it. And you only pay taxes on the money you bring back to Canada. Therefore, you can reinvest your money, keep trading your money, make more of your money on the stock market without paying any taxes, therefore compounding your profits. And for someone who's investing your own money to make more money, compounding is the name of the game. It's the secret. So if you can compound your money and not pay taxes until you take the money out, it's a huge benefit. And if you can do all of that without leaving Canada, it's even better. That's why I'm calling it a loophole, because truthfully, you're still living in Canada, you're still trading, but you're just using a different entity. And this different entity will allow you to trade on the US exchanges, which are more favorable, and in the name of the company. And I say the US exchanges are more favorable because the fees are generally lower. There are a number of different options depending on how much money you're able to invest in the different brokerages. But with up to a couple $1,000s, you can still open an account at Interactive Brokers. And it can be tricky and complicated to open the account in the name of an LLC, but it is possible. And from my understanding, as long as you don't bring the money back to Canada, you don't pay taxes in Canada. So am I saying this is 100% vetted, tried and true, audited by Canadian tax agencies, and it works? No, I'm not saying that. I can tell you that it works in the US, and I can tell you with confidence that you won't pay US taxes. The taxes in Canada, however, I've gotten from different professionals I work with, I've gotten different answers. That's why it seems like a gray area. And if you're an aggressive person and you want help setting this up, you can reach out to us and we're happy to help you set that up. So at the end of the day, you have three options: pay full taxes and use a Canadian brokerage and pay more fees. Option two, expatriate Canada, use a U.S. company and trade in the U.S. markets. You can trade personally in the U.S. markets once you expatriate from Canada as well. I like using LLCs because it's more private and you have the additional asset protection. And option number three is to use a US LLC while you still live in Canada. Don't bring the money back to Canada and compound your money and pay no taxes until you bring it out. There are different exit tax implications. There are different estate tax implications for option two, potentially, but that's what we're here for. None of these options are like, here it is, do it yourself. If you're making a lot of money day trading, I would definitely recommend you seek professional advice. But if you're interested in help setting this up or exploring this more, you can definitely contact us and schedule a call in the links below. And comment your comments below, especially if you're a Canadian tax advisor. Let me know if I'm completely off base here or if I am onto something. And I would love to talk to any Canadian tax guy who can explain this to me in more detail. This is a cry for help. Please explain it to me. I want to know more about this. I want to learn this stuff. Get on the phone with me and let's figure it out, because this is potentially a loophole and a great way for Canadian day traders to really, really grow your income. So that's it for today. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Comment below if you have any experience or comments about this. I'm really interested in seeing your comments, and I will see you on the next video. This is what we're here for. Interested comment, saving content, saving on taxes, and growing businesses. Okay. Thank you for being here, guys.